Hello, everyone. This is Andrea with Nutrition Commission. I want to talk to you a little bit today about our emotional connection to food during a chronic illness or a chronic condition. I really wanted to tap into this feeling around our eating patterns leading up to perhaps the day that we've been given some, not so great news, whether that be a diagnosis of an autoimmune condition or some sort of liver health condition, or of course anything metabolic, whether it be diabetes or cancer or even heart disease. And often that's the moment where we start to see wow, okay, diet and lifestyle kind of hits us front and center. And I think there's a lot of information around and available to us now where we start to really understand that there may be some things that we can do to try to heal and get back on track. So I wanted just to really introduce a concept called eating for pleasure. You know, at the moment when I was diagnosed 5 years ago, I really kind of would explain my awakening really around eating for bliss. You know, like I had this fast food, I had a lot of sugar. I never really thought twice about it. I really didn't. And so it was really interesting that, again, being diagnosed, you know, you look in hindsight and you think, wow, I was really eating for pleasure. There was no real nutritional value of anything that I was eating. And so when we get that moment in time, we start shifting now into we have to eat for repair, recovery, and I like to also call it eating for healing, okay? And that's a whole new shift in our mind, okay? We're not, we actually have to remove and kind of separate from eating for pleasure, okay? We're not eating for pleasure anymore. We're eating for repair and recovery, okay? We're eating for healing. We're eating for recovery. And that is a whole different list of foods, okay? The infamous, what should I eat? What should I not eat? All right? So, and I go really deep into this when folks are in my 7-week program. But for today, I'm just going to tap into really how we, my kind of top 2 tips around how do you make that shift. So number 1, we need to separate that food is functional. It's therapeutic and it's functional, okay? It is not about eating for the sensation of it anymore, okay? It's not filling a need. It's not a warm blanket going to comfort us in our time of grief, okay? Food no longer serves that purpose. Now, it might have served that purpose before we got sick, but food, when we're ill, is serving a purpose, and that is to heal your body. It's functional and it's medicinal, okay? So the number 1 tip I say to people is being that food is functional now. It's not intended to give you a warm hug, okay? You're gonna have to get your emotional needs met from something other than food. And this is where we really have to come into our own mental discipline, which is not easy, I know. But we have to really think about it as all or nothing. It's an all or nothing game. And here's why I say that. Some people say, oh, it's okay to have a nibble here or a nibble there, or it's okay to have that piece of cake, or it's okay to have that. Well, guess what? Every time we kind of give ourselves permission to go off the routine or the healthy eating routines that we establish, you actually start that cycle of unhealthy taste bud memory, and your body starts craving that crappy food more and more. The more you give it, the more it wants. So number 1 tip is it really has to be kind of an all or nothing proposition. Are you in or are you out? Okay? There's no straddling the fence anymore. When we're sick, food is functional, food is medicinal. Okay? So that's number 1. And I've done this myself where I've dibble-dabbled and I take a bite and then I realize like, wow, today I just had a whole piece of cake. That's not good dealing with a chronic condition, okay? It's like, are you 100% in or not? So you have to really dig deep to commit to that, all or nothing. Number 2, I would say is also another way to treat food as healing, repairing your body, and it's about eating for healing. And that is, yep, you might be the only one eating this way. You might be feeling isolated and lonely most of the time because everybody else is still doing their journey on food, eating for pleasure, and you're eating for recovery because now you're sick. So I always say second tip is always come prepared. Come prepared with the foods that you have to eat. You're part of that all or nothing. You have to be all in, guys. And you want to come prepared, but you'll learn the hard way. If we are not committed with an all or nothing and we're still trying to treat food as our emotional crutch, you're going to find that you're not going to start getting the healing that you're after. So you really have to be committed. And part of being committed in this all or nothing mentality is coming prepared with foods that you can eat. Okay. And don't give yourself that opportunity to start nibbling and, what I like to call backsliding into some of the processed foods and the sugars and the treats. Okay. If you're feeling though, however, this is the other thing, and I'll even give you a number 3. And I always say this consistently is we don't have to think about our whole lifetime. This is how I'm going to eat forever. I'm never going to be able to have a piece of cake. I'm never going to be able to. Of course you are. But it might take your body 2 years to heal. And I like to say that to manage expectations because some people say, well, but I really want to A, B, and C. And I said, yeah, I get it. But guess what? You know what's really hard? What's really, really, really hard? It's way harder than trying to eat for functional purposes. What's really hard is dealing with another recurrence of cancer. That's really hard. Okay, so you have to, not to say that we're to blame per se, but I'm just saying we have to be committed to our recovery and our healing. And that means that you really have to get into your head that I might have to adopt this way of eating for the next year or 2, and that's okay. That's okay. Doesn't mean it's forever, but when you're separating your emotional connection between eating for pleasure and eating for recovery and repair, it's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different ballgame, and you'll start to be very aware. If I'm going into the kitchen late at night craving a cookie or a sweet, I always say, ask yourself this, what is it I'm really needing? I know this cookie's going to be really, really good, but I also know that it's really not going to help me, and sugar's really bad for my body. So what am I really craving here? Am I craving something emotional about it? The comfort that it gives me, the rush of chemicals in my brain. So separate food being that emotional crutch, because when you're dealing with chronic illness, food cannot be that for us anymore. It just can't. It's functional and it's therapeutic. And I know that doesn't sound fun and it sounds miserable for most, but believe me, once you start getting your pattern of eating and the incorporation of healthy fats and proteins, I am 100% saying that it is just as nourishing and comforting. I can't even believe it myself because I was a huge sugar person, but my foods are so comforting. I don't miss it at all. And when I do have cake and cheesecake and all that sugary, crappy stuff I used to eat, it makes me sick. So I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can too. And like I said, when it gets hard, here's the other question I always ask is, again, this is what keeps me committed is, Andrea, you know what's hard? Hard is if I get stage 4 cancer. That's going to be hard. So can I put this cookie down? Can I stay the course? Yeah, I think I can. This is easy. This is easy. Okay. So not to be Debbie Downer, but you really have to go deep to disconnect your patterns, your unhealthy patterns and behavior with unhealthy foods. Okay. And that I know takes work and it takes time. So this is, like I said, something I go much deeper into with my 7-week small group program, but I want to give you a snippet of it because I had to learn this myself, and I was amazed at how much I was emotionally connected, like unhealthy codependency with sugary stuff when I restricted it. And then I realized what that food was doing for me. I was like, holy hell, I like seriously am getting my emotional needs through my food, and that was when it clicked. No, food is functional, food is medicinal. So I'm gonna leave you with those 3 tips. I know I'm giving you a lot of, you know, anecdotal stuff here, but number 1, again, all or nothing. You can't be riding the fence, dibble-dabbling over here, and then trying to eat for recovery. You can't go both ways, because you will backslide. Okay, we're just human. That's what we do. So you have to be 99% committed to your eating patterns. And number 2, you know, come prepared. Come prepared. So when you know you're going to be the only one at a party or an event that is on this eating for recovery, I say come prepared, and have no shame in that, to say, you know what, I can't. I'm eating for healing because I have a condition, and I can't do it, period. Come prepared. No one's going to bug you when you say that. You know, they just don't. I trust me, I've packed my own stuff to every Sunday gathering with family, and I'm the only one eating my foods and watching everybody else, but I'm okay with that. And, you know, just give yourself a break, you know, disconnect from the emotional connection. If you're feeling you need something, don't lean on food. Lean on a family member to give you a hug. Okay, get that social connection and that emotional connection from things other than food. And those are my top 2 plus extra little tip. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments, some of the strategies and tips that you use to help really disconnect your emotional codependency, quite frankly, on food. Especially as we're now, a lot of us, unfortunately, dealing with recurrence of disease. I've talked to a couple women who are getting another round of cancer, and it's heartbreaking. You know, we do the best that we can, right? And that's always good enough. But trying to stay the course takes a lot of support and accountability. And but I'd love to hear from you. Comments in the box. Was any of this helpful? Did it resonate with you today? Love to hear from you. So thank you all for watching, and we'll touch base very soon. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.